is KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another week with the Teal Boys on Currently a No Other Pod. I'm Daniel Kooser. It's my man, Chris Wright. Chris, what's up, dude? You Comic-Con son of a bitch. What's going on?
Oh, man, right after this podcast is over, I'm going straight to the airport. So I'm pretty amped up about that. I'm pretty excited. But I'm also excited about our game against Houston, which we're going to talk about in a minute. I'm amped up for a couple reasons there.
We got a game coming. It's game week. Had a little break. I'm also going to send you a bunch of things I'd like you to see at Comic-Con for me.
Okay.
There's some things there that I'm like, okay, go to it and tell me your feelings, because I want to experience this.
Put you on live stream or face stream or fake stream, whatever it is nowadays. I'll show you around.
Yeah, man, whatever. There's some pretty cool stuff there. I've never actually been there, so could be weird with the whole striking thing with the actors and the writers and people probably not showing up to events now that previously probably would.
Yeah.
So sounds were you pissed about that? Like when you book your ticket, you kind of expect something and then now it's kind of diminished, like just a tad?
A little bit, but more because the big things like that, like big studio stuff, will attract a lot of people. And now those people are just going to be everywhere. So, when you have a 120,000 people at the Comic-Con and then, 10,000 who normally wouldn't be in what you're doing are, because the stuff they wanted to do is canceled. It makes it a little tougher, but there's still a lot to do. The atmosphere is fun. It's a good time overall. And San Diego is beautiful, so you can find something to do.
So I hear. Yeah, sounds like a great place, man. Dude, we got not much to report on from the last week. Everyone had a break. Hopefully the team's getting healthier. We do have some updated injury reports. I think the players got to get away from soccer for a minute. I think if you follow them on socials, as we do, you'll see they like took little mini trips and stuff and just kind of got off the grid, kind of got away from the sport, their job, so to speak, right? And a little R&R for them. But Hannah Glass and Claire Lavage, still very much very minimal stuff. They're not looking. They're not anywhere close to coming back. They're just getting involved, right? Just getting into it. But get this, Lola Bonta and Cece Kaiser are full participants in training. Like, they're in it, which I'm just baffled that Cece Kaiser looked like she was dying. No shade thrown. I mean, something bad happened. She was clearly in pain. But to me, that meant like, oh, shit, she's out for like a couple months, maybe at least weeks, right? And she's like, nah, I'm getting back in it next game.
The way she reacted, man, was like she tore something or had like a severe sprain, had to be helped off the field. I was expecting her to be honestly done for the year in my head. Of course, we don't have the transparency of what her injury is, but I was expecting her to be out for the year. I'm trying to plan in my head how we're going to work around her absence. So, like you mentioned with the socials, she was out enjoying life. Great for her. And I noticed she didn't have like a knee brace or anything on or anything on her foot. So I was a little surprised, but to hear she's fully involved, man, we that's the jolt. That's a jolt that we can't lose.
Exactly.
When she got hurt in the racing game, I mean, our offense was not great, but it just tanked, from there.
Yeah.
So
LaBonta getting back in is a big deal as well. I know she was kind of rocking a knee brace for a bit, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of impact she has in the weeks to come. Something that's very concerning, though, is Vanessa DiBernardo still out with concussion symptoms. And, dude, everyone reacts to concussions differently. And this is becoming it's kind of a sad story to me because a concussion, the 100, best case scenario is you're out for a week, right? You recover 7 to 10 days, you're back. It's been well over that since she first got her concussion. and it's this isn't good. Like clearly some I don't know, cognitive issues or maybe some balance training isn't so great. She's just not all there yet. It's scary.
I mean, you first feel for the person, right? Like nobody, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're on a team that I don't want to do well or a player I don't like. Not that I dislike players, but you don't want anybody to have to deal with a concussion. And the fact that we didn't even see it happen in training, right? We didn't even see it happen. We don't know how bad it was, how severe it looked, or it might have not looked bad at all, but she's still dealing with it. So, I mean, my heart goes out to her as a person, but, we could definitely use her back. But the silver lining is we got 3 Challenge Cup games during this break.
True.
There's no need to rush her. Low coming back helps buy us some time, right? Provides a jolt in the midfield when DiBernardo's out. So it sucks. I just hope we hear some positive news, even if she's not playing, right? But just some positive news in terms of her concussion health.
Right. And that's the thing. There's no updates. She's not like training on the side or anything like that. Like, she's probably doing some, maybe keeping her core strong or something like that. Right.
Right.
But it's, she can't go full on. It sucks. Something that is positive is Haley Mace is healthy, but she's suspended via yellow card accumulation for this Challenge Cup game. So that sucks, but we'll deal like we have all year.
Hey, Coach Querbloom, hopefully I didn't mess that up, but
whatever, we do it.
She has a talented team, but man, to deal with the amount of injuries and the shuffling she's had to do every single week in, week out, game in, game out. I mean, that is not easy for her. And I think she's handled it about as good as she can. So I think she deserves some credit for dealing with a team that people were predicting to win it all right off the bat because of our signings. And then right off the bat, people got hurt. And then, she's done a good job with these injuries.
It's rough, man. It sucks to be like such a favored team and be technically the worst team this year. It's just weird. I'm trying to stay positive. We got a big Challenge Cup game coming at home this Saturday. You won't be there then, right?
I will not be there.
Okay.
I will not be there.
You'll miss that game.
Yep.
Well, maybe we'll win because you'll be gone.
Hey, whatever helps. If my presence not being there helps, I'm all for it.
Now, will you have time? Like, let's see, it'll be 5:00 your time. Will you like stream it on your phone, or will you be fully immersed in like Comic-Con stuff?
I will stream it for sure. And if for whatever, the signal is not great out there because there's so many people in just one congested area. But if I can't get to it or the stream is bad, I will rewatch it for sure.
Is your hotel near the convention?
It is. It's pretty close. Yeah. It's, I don't know, probably like a 3-minute walk.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you can take breaks to go to your hotel room and then go back.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Use Wi-Fi if you needed to, right?
Absolutely. I don't anticipate a reason I can't watch that game.
Nice.
But, yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know how Comic-Con goes, man. Do you get dressed up?
I do not. I've never been a cosplayer. I've never, I don't know.
I kind of assume you'd show up as Nandor from What We Do in the Shadows. Or Colin Robinson,
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I could pull that off, if I had the look, I think I would try. But I don't have a look for anything. I'm just a generic white guy. I don't have a look.
I was reading that FX has a whole thing there with What We Do in the Shadows, as well as some other shows. So just like some experiences, obviously no appearances from any actors or anything like that. But
they initially were going to have the cast there.
Oh, man.
But and they did in years past. They had the whole cast like 2 years ago, I think. So
that's wild. That show, man, never gets any Emmy love either. That's a good show.
It's just quirky. It's quirky and fun.
Yeah. I've still never seen the movie that it's based on.
Never seen the movie?
Nah.
Oh, man. The movie's really good, too.
I need to. Shoot, let's jump into this Challenge Cup preview in a minute, because before that, I think we should take a quick break. Hopefully Nick's ready. Break it!
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network. Entertain, educate, inform. KC Sports Network.
Bro, I have far too much power. I don't. With great power comes great responsibility. That was intense. I was like, I just hope Nick isn't, burning some mac and cheese or something and he's ready to kick it to break.
Not only did he kick it to break on time, he let us know that was a perfect transition. So, I mean, he is hands on the keyboard. He is ready to go. Yeah,
little behind the curtain, Nick was telling us about how he blew up his microwave because he forgot to put water, forgot to put liquid in his Easy Mac. So, dude's having a rough go. Needs to make a Target run and get a new microwave. Good stuff, man. Hey, dude, I went to Austin this past weekend, right? What a great place. Too hot, mind you. Too hot. But like being a foodie down there, the food scene was awesome, bro. You like tacos?
I love tacos.
They got tacos on tacos. Like it's just a hell of a time. Did 3 escape rooms down there, honestly. And after one, me and Marissa escaped, and the whole group had made us an anniversary card. The whole employee, every employee there, like handmade a card.
Wow.
And I was ready to cry. I was like, what the hell? This is just, that's how you give someone an experience, right?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Did that come up in conversation?
Yeah, they're just like, what, celebrate anything? We're like, yeah, I mean, our anniversary is tomorrow. They're like, oh my gosh, so kind of neat.
That's cool.
So happy anniversary to my lovely wife. She listens. She's a huge fan, by the way. She updated her review in Apple Podcast to say that she's just so proud of how far this show has come and how far it's grown. You're not allowed to take part in that because you're new, but no.
That's you're. I mean, I'm proud of how far you and Jimmy and no other pod has come. And I grabbed. I'm walking into home on that. Like between third and home, that's when I came in, and I'm just walking across the plate with you.
Hey, grab the ball, buddy. I'll be your fullback. Let's go. Challenge Cup this Saturday, 7 p.m. Houston Dash. They will be missing 6 players to the World Cup. What a roster to have 6 World Cup caliber players on their team. We have 1, if you're keeping track. Well, we have 2 technically.
2. Yep.
Man, I forget about the new player.
It kind of creeps up on you.
It does. I added I added a bunch of freaking games to my calendar, right? Want to keep up with the USA games, the Sweden, the Denmark, the Germany, the England, the Brazil, obviously for Debinha. It's gonna be a wild time because if you're listening to this on Thursday, World Cup has started and you've missed games already because these sons of bitches start at like 2 a.m. bro. I don't know what time zones are anymore because that is crazy. I don't know what time that is there, but it's a wild time.
It came up so quickly, didn't it? Oh, by the way, sorry, side note. Did you see the Nike ads for the players? So like
I saw the Debinha one.
That was awesome.
Yeah, she just in there tearing up a grocery store. That was that was nice.
Did you see the Sophia Smith one?
No, all I saw was the Debinha one.
Oh, Sophia Smith is really good, and it makes so much sense because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's a little bit like, it's like a horror. It's kind of a horror theme, but she'll smile at you, but it's like, she's coming to score on you. And then players are like imagining she's there just smiling. And it has like some horror type music, which, I mean, I think if anybody can be terrified of her, it's Kansas City. She's terrorized us national championship all of this year. Do
you like horror movies?
No.
You don't like them?
I don't know. I don't dislike them. I just never make the time to watch them. If
man.
It's on and somebody's watching it, I'll probably watch it with them. But
we went and saw the new Insidious last night. Ooh, boy.
Oh, yeah?
That was wild. Wild time.
You know what movie I'm excited to see? And we've talked about this. I don't go to movie theaters often. Ever since the Regal pass ended for me, I don't like paying like $15 for a movie if I'm not that interested.
Yeah.
So when we had the Regal pass, we went to every single one in town. But since we don't have it, I don't go often. But one I will make an exception for. And Nick just commented on it, and he's right. I am going to do IMAX for Oppenheimer. I'm a big history nerd. I will be there. I will popcorn, drink. I will treat myself.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a great time.
We got our tickets for next Tuesday.
Okay.
We're going, man. Barbie will have to be like the following week probably, but a lot of people doing this double feature action. I don't think you know that Oppenheimer is 3 hours. Like that is just, I mean, you better get a couple pee breaks. You better, word to the wise, you better download that Run Pee app that tells you when to pee during movies. It's the best freaking app out there, bro, for any movie buff. They ain't paying me, but they should be because I love it. It tells you when to pee, and then while you're peeing, you click on that part because it's like, hey, when so-and-so passes out in the closet, you have this long to go pee. And then you click read synopsis, and it sums up what you're missing. You know about this, right?
You told me about it, yeah.
Oh, okay. It's my favorite. It tells you if there's anything after the credits, so you don't, you know to stick around or not. It's fantastic. I know Nick's gonna download it, man. Run Pee. It's good stuff.
Nick said he's gonna go see Barbie and Oppenheimer this weekend on Friday. So
hell of a time.
We have to get his review of it as well as yours, I imagine.
Oh, yeah, because this is the movie podcast. It kind of is. It's I'm very into it. I'm a cinephile, man. It's good times. So Houston's missing Andressa Alves to Brazil, Alicia Chapman, Nichelle Prince, and Sophie Schmidt to Canada, Havana Solon to Jamaica, and Michelle Alozie to Nigeria. Sweet. I hope we can take advantage because we didn't do that against Louisville without Savannah DeMello. Turns out one player doesn't make a team, and the team's still kind of decent. So this is it, dude. This game is for the taking. This is for Challenge Cup ranking right here.
And absolutely. So if we win the next 2 games, I think 6 points gets us across that finish line to make it to the the playoffs of the Challenge Cup. So to speak.
Do? I
do. I think 6 points gets us there. Just taking a look at how everything can play out. We don't want to have to rely on the last Challenge Cup game, and I have this in front of me here real quick. The last Challenge Cup game is against Racing, so I don't think we want to go into that game needing to win.
Because we have 3 left.
We have 3 left.
3. Okay.
We have obviously the one on Saturday, July 29th. We play at Chicago,
which they'll be missing their brilliant goalkeeper.
Yep, exactly. And on August 5th, we will have to play Racing. So we don't want to have to play Racing Louisville to, it is a win and you're in kind of a thing. We want to already be there.
Bro, would love to get there with 9 points, right? I mean, beat Houston, beat Chicago, call it a day. Wait, no, sorry. We have 6 right now. We have 6 points.
Yep.
So I think 12 would get it done, right?
I think so. I absolutely think so.
But then Racing Louisville can also, they can end with like 15. I don't know. It's getting crazy.
Well, I think we would make that last qualification spot due to points. I think that's where we could sneak in there with 6 points. But going back to Houston, I mean, Alyssa Chapman, Nichelle Prince, Sophie Schmidt, Alozie, those are all really good players. Those are all players that contribute heavily for Houston.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. And this is where it gets tough to preview games and predict games. And you look at regular season stats and stuff like that, and you just kind of have to throw it out the window because Challenge Cup is different. But with the World Cup, everybody's gone. So, you can't carry over regular season or previous Challenge Cup games into where we are now. But we will try. But the fact that they're missing 6 players, probably 3 or 4 starters, is a pretty big deal for us.
On paper, we should get this done. it should be a done deal. The high Saturday is 90. So hopefully in the evening, it'll be going down a little bit. Houston, you've mentioned here where they have one of the worst offenses in the league. They have 10 goals in the regular season, which is the fewest in the league. And it's one of the worst expected goals at 1.07. But their defense is pretty decent, right? They've allowed the fewest goals of 12. So, I mean, defense wins points, right? I won't say it wins games because you still got to score to win, but defense gets you points.
Yeah. They're a team that will muddy a game up, score off a set piece, just not give you anything easy. And then, just kind of like when we played them at home, it was just a kind of a weird play where Ordonez ended up one-on-one with Soto in the box by herself and just had a turn and shoot. And she put it in the back of the net. So, we just gotta keep those plays in front of us. I think if we keep those plays in front of us, it'll be really helpful. They're lacking in the midfield in terms of their players. We've struggled in the midfield these last two games against Portland and Racing. So I hope we can take advantage of that there. I mean, who knows? We'll see. Having Low back, having CC, and then Loetta, right? If she's back in the lineup and getting some good minutes, that'll be a big boost for our team. But we have to take advantage of it. I mean, there's no other way around it. We're not going to get an easier matchup at this point than Houston missing 6 players.
This is it, man. This is Challenge Cup points for the taking, right? And a good way to stay match fit, while the regular season takes a little World Cup break. Dude, fun fact that you've included here in our little itinerary, the Dash have the lowest percentage of aerial duels won. And it's like, I know you're listening, Gabby Robinson, Croy Soto, Elizabeth Ball, win those duels back there. Do not let them have anything. Because we can't afford to have these balls bouncing around in our box. That's how these goals happen, bro. Delfava, get up. Get it out of there. Because when the ball, just all it needs to do is bounce once in the box, and I'm holding my breath. Because I'm like, oh, shit. Like, how many times does that get put away in a game? Scary stuff, man. Players to watch, Ordonez, Didasco, and Prislock. And goalkeeper Jane Campbell's been playing pretty well this year, obviously, with fewest goals allowed.
Ordonez is such a talented player. I think she was like top 5 Golden Boot last year, but really hasn't had the success this year. Didasco, on the other hand, has been a fantastic defensive player. I mean, almost every game she's on the field for Houston, she's one of their top players. She's a defender. She was actually Defender of the Year for Gotham. And then Gotham basically did a fire sale, got rid of a lot of players. She went to Houston. She's been playing phenomenally. She's a player that we're going to have to really, it's going to be tough to get past. I think she had an assist too on one of the goals in Kansas City, if I remember correctly. Prislock is another player who's done pretty well for the team. And these are players I'm picking out that obviously are not national team players, but players who are going to play against us and people we really need to keep our eye on. And then another fun fact, Jane Campbell has, I believe, an 80% save rate or something like that, which is the highest in the league, save percentage. So we're going to have something special to get the ball past her.
Yeah, man. I mean, maybe getting Low back in the mix is nice too. I don't know though. Kind of imagine her maybe subbing in late or something, trying to get back up to fitness with her knee or whatever was going on. The Challenge Cup is interesting to me because only a third of the teams make it to that like semifinal playoff stage. The top group winner, and then the next best point winner. So it's like you got to try to accumulate all the points you can, and it still might not even be enough, dude. Louisville might end up with 15, and we might only end up with 13. And you got to hope that's enough to get you through to get in that Final Four. Because with 12 teams in this thing, and then only 4 move on, it's this ain't MLS. where we put in 2/3 of the teams, 75% or whatever. It's a little different, a little more exclusive.
It's chaotic, right? World Cup,
Yeah.
Challenge Cup, like you can't look at the regular season and be like, this is how it's going to be. The whole situation is chaotic, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
We have to win. We have to win this game. We can't go into facing Racing Louisville for the last game and expecting to win that game to make it in. And we talked about it before, the money has increased dramatically for the Challenge Cup. These players want money. They deserve the money. They're going to play for the money. They're going to tell their coaching staff, hey, I want to be on the field. Don't take me off. Trophies are great, but money's pretty special too. So these players are not going to treat this like just a half-ass tournament. This is a big deal for them.
Very true, man. And if you look at our form in this competition, even our goal differential, we have a +5, and Racing Louisville has a +6. It's insane, especially when you look at Chicago and Houston that are in the negative by a good margin. So, hey, do you get to will you get to go to any kind of like World Cup watch party Friday night for the U.S.? I mean, have you looked into that? Surely there's something going on.
I have not. I'm sure there is. Kind of a fun soccer fact, and I'm kicking myself in the butt because I didn't know it until it was too late. But Wrexham is playing, was it Man U, I believe, in San Diego the day after I leave. So had I planned it better, I could have went to watch Wrexham play live, man. I
got to tell you, I'm getting annoyed with the whole Wrexham thing now.
What?
Dude, because it was cool, right? And now it's like everywhere. Now it's like almost mainstream. I'm not trying to be all freaking hip and hipster or anything like, oh man, it's too cool. I don't want to follow it. But it is kind of like that. It was a neat thing, and now everyone's into it. But it's like, okay, is it good for the sport? Is it good for, attracting new fans to the sport of soccer? So I guess, what is it? Rising tide raises all boats and stuff?
I think so. I mean, it can't hurt. Kind of
just Americanizing things though, like, with American owners and having that show on FX, it's just real Americanized right now. And I guess that's fine.
What I thought was interesting is how they bought a team, monetized the popularity of television, and use that money to go back into the team as well, right? Like they had to redo the race course, if I remember correctly. They're able to invest more money in players. I mean, they're not getting that much money from ticket sales. I mean, obviously they're probably selling out, but the amount of how they've been able to create a monetary structure off the field to bring money in, to help the team, to help awareness of the sport, I think is pretty wild. The amount of money they made per episode from Hulu, I can't remember what the number is, but it was insane. So it's just interesting how they've been able to monetize the popularity of it the way they have.
Yeah, that's you're not a good planner. Well, you're very well known for not planning well, so you'll be kicking yourself for that.
I'm sure I will be. I mean, half the time you're like, what are we doing this day? And I'm like, oh man, I don't know. It's not on the calendar.
Bro, I got you. I'm a calendar maniac. I know what's going on. I know what I'm eating for dinner tomorrow. I know what's up.
I figure it out. I don't know. I figure it out on the spot. I'm pretty spontaneous, but it can be a negative though, because I forget a lot of things, and that ends up costing me,
bro,
at times.
That causes me, dude, you're causing me so much anxiety right now. For a guy who loves a plan and loves a routine, and it's a spectrum thing too, by the way. Like I did autism testing a while back, which is pretty wild, folks, and worth it if you think you might have something going on. And I realized a lot about myself being on the spectrum a little bit, that routine is a huge thing for me. And when my routine gets thrown out of whack, bro, I can melt down. Like, I just don't like it. So when you say you just live by the seat of your pants, I'm like, bro, I need you to do this for me. I need, So, but that's why we were always working together. Cause I got you. I was always in charge of like soccer stuff. Right. And you'd be like, hey, what time do we play tonight? And I'm like, 7:00. You're like, gotcha. See you there. It's just I like doing that stuff too. I like being, I don't know, it's kind of in charge, control, maybe being in control of my own life.
I think I would text you the morning of or the night before an early morning game, be like, hey, what time do we play today? What color of shirts are we wearing? Or something like that. I don't know. I'm willy-nilly, man. I live my life 1 minute at a time.
Stressful, bro. Stressful. Hey, let's take another quick break and we'll come back and wrap things up.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network. Entertain, educate, inform. KC Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back. Man, we got that Challenge Cup game this weekend. All right, we got World Cup games galore. Is there anything? What are you looking for? What's a good storyline out of this World Cup? Is it US's to lose? I mean, that's what the betting odds are saying.
Yeah, I think
England is a close second, they say.
England is a close second. Yeah. First of all, I just want the US to win, like everybody, right? I think the narrative with the US is the old guard is leaving, the Rapinoe is leaving. Alex Morgan, she's up there now. I don't know if she's going to do another World Cup. Probably could if she wanted to.
But a lot of young players on this team, right?
A lot of young, hungry players. A lot of people to step up and fill those roles, like Alyssa Nair, her last World Cup. Julie Ertz, probably her last World Cup. So it's kind of a weird shifting of the guard. So to see the young players step up and I don't know, become a veteran or step up and become that experienced, national team player is going to be interesting to see for the U.S. But for me, man, like, a secondary storyline for me is Brazil. Marta, her last World Cup.
Okay.
Debinha, I want to see her have a lot of success. So those are the two teams I'm really keeping an eye on.
And then our new player, whose name escapes me right now,
Ballinger.
Yep.
Yeah.
She Denmark playing China. So you got U.S. Match day 1 of 3, U.S. and Vietnam, Brazil and Panama, Denmark and China. And these are very watchable games too. You don't have to wake up in the middle of the fucking night to watch these things. You got U.S. on Friday at 8 p.m. Then you can get up Saturday for Denmark at 7 a.m. Easy peasy. And then Monday at 6 a.m. before work, you got Brazil and Panama. So perfect. I love that, man, because not all the games are that friendly. Not all the games are that time friendly.
Yeah, I think as you go to, I don't know if they're going to become more or less watchable in terms of time, but this is a nice, easy 3 games you can watch the national team and current players. So
yeah, Nick coming in telling us Australia's 16 hours ahead.
Oh my God,
which is kind of wild. So the U.S. are technically playing at noon on Saturday, Australia time. That's wild.
That's crazy.
Huh. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch it. Also, watching these games, it's always so weird. When we just watched Qatar, it was daytime for us, and they were like darkness. And here, it'd be dark for us and light there. And I hate it. I'm very excited for the Men's World Cup to come to the United States, where the times will be friendly as hell. But I'm not going to complain too much, man, because I'm up at 5:30, 6 a.m. every day anyway. So ain't no thing.
This would be a good game, the U.S. Vietnam, to go to like a watch party, right? Or
it pans
your
out.
Local sports bar, whatever. Get a group of friends because it's a decent time. I don't know if we're going to get a better time than that for the rest of the World Cup.
Yeah, 100%. I'm excited, man. I asked you what you were kind of thinking of storyline wise. I think I'm most excited for me is for the young U.S. women to see, what kind of role Alyssa Thompson plays, because she was called in because of Mallory Swanson's injury, right?
Right.
So that's interesting. Like, okay, is she going to step up? Is she going to make an impact? Because Mallory Swanson would have made an impact. She was in goal scoring form. And now Alyssa Thompson's got to just slide in there. Hey, I just went to prom. I just graduated high school, but let me go play in the World Cup real quick. That's the story for me. Maybe she'll have some hot shots and be dramatic about that. I don't know. I don't know.
I think we would be remiss to say that Lynn Williams, right? We want to see her. She had a really cool story. Hurt for a while, got traded, back on the national team and being a menace. So I would love to see her have a lot of success in the World Cup.
Dude, and here's how I know that I work at a decent establishment. Today, my work is having a World Cup kickoff party. Yeah, bro. What place does that? Not everyone, not a freaking bank. I work in this huge, not a retail bank, but like a big federal bank. And they're having a World Cup kickoff party, man. They're going to have like games, food, drinks. That's right. They give you beer at work. It's freaking wild.
This is Germany? Are we
telling you, I can't be there, but I was so supportive of it. They're like, wear your favorite kit. And they had a link if you click on kit to let you know what a kit is. Because a lot of Americans don't know what the hell that is. It's cool. It's like I work for a really cool place that cares about soccer where other places could not care less.
Yeah, that's cool. From everything you've told me about your place of employment, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man. So. In other places, when the World Cup happens, everyone's like, ugh, are you watching this stupid World Cup? And I'm like, shut up, dude. Of course I'm watching it. I'm very excited for it. It's soccer on soccer on soccer. Why are you being a dick? People think it's cool to hate this sport, and it's not. You just look like an asshole.
Yeah. I agree. And the Bleacher Report football Twitter page had a very interesting post. It was talking about how much talent will be missing the World Cup due to injury. Did you see this?
No.
So they have the injured 11 for the World Cup. So players who obviously injured can't make it. 2 Kansas City Current players, Sam Mewis and Hannah Glass. So, it just goes to it doesn't have her on here, but they should. But they should. It just has 11 plus 10 subs. But yeah, 2 Kansas City Current players and Sam Mewis, and then Hannah Glass. So if anybody is curious how good Hannah Glass is, she's good enough to make this injured 11 of the World Cup. So she's a damn good player. And once we get her back, I think she'll fit in really well.
I did see a post though somewhere from something, not a person. It was from some publication and said, will Sweden be okay without their star right back Glass? And I was like, oh, no shit. Like we haven't even really, we haven't gotten to see her excel. So I'm like, damn, we got a pretty quality player and I'm excited to get her healthy.
Yeah. I mean, we only have 2 World Cup players, but if we were healthy and everything was said, we might have about 5 or 6. So
exactly.
What can you do?
We'd be missing them to World Cup, which wouldn't hurt us because we're missing them to injury right now. So it's the same.
Basically, yeah.
Where's the difference? Cool, man. Anything else you want to add today?
No, that's all I got, man. I'm jealous. I won't be able to be at the game with you, but I know it's going to be a good time, and team's going to go out there and give it their all. So
it's gonna be a fun one. Feel free to text me. I'm gonna have you going to Comic-Con stuff for me, and buying me stuff. So you didn't know this. You didn't know.
If there's anything you need, let me know, and I'll see if I can get it for you.
I like exclusive stuff. When I see that, like, oh, this is a Comic-Con exclusive, I'm like, tell me more. Like little. I like Funko Pops, dude, but they need to mean something to me.
Right.
Like I got this clear John Cena one because you can't see him, so he's clear. I got freaking Cogsworth the Clock from Beauty and the Beast because I was Cogsworth in the musical.
Okay.
And I've got Gomez Adams from Addams Family because I was him in that musical. So it's got to mean something to me. I'll send you a shopping list.
How cool would that be though if they had national team player pops, by the way, or
very cool
pops of the NWSL? I don't know what kind of licensing and stuff that would entail, but considering you can buy them at Walgreens or anywhere, having a Kansas City Current Dabinia or Cooper pop low.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Funko would be like women's soccer. I don't know about that. People don't put enough stock in that stuff, and so that's why they'll have to sign with Fisher Price or something and get those kind of toys.
Although I'll tell you what, this is a perfect time to get in if they wanted to for licensing, probably on a more affordable rate. I don't know. I'm going into a side tangent, but
it's true. We're going into business now.
Yep, we're going into business. That's probably a good sign that we should.
Good time to stop. Hey, we got to get Cinderella to the ball. We got to get you on a plane, baby. We got to get you going. You got to hit the turnpike. All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in this week. It has been a blast as always. Next week, we'll have some more World Cup to talk about. We'll have Challenge Cup games to talk about, a preview and a recap. So it could be a longer episode next week. As always, hit us up with those ratings and reviews, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen. Watch us on YouTube. You know, people are commenting on YouTube, by the way. I always forget to share people's comments on here, but people are on there like, hey, Dan, drop that vegan queso recipe. You know, different things. People are talking on there, so it's pretty wild. So go follow us on KC Sports Network over on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter if you want, at No Other Pod, at Dan Kooser, at Chris Wright 21. You can email us, nootherpod@gmail.com. Any questions or concerns, and we'll get to them on the show. But for Chris, I'm Daniel. We'll talk to you next week. Love you bunches.